Namaste everyone. Now, for this practice today, I thought I'd give us a few tips on what we can do for the spine to bring in a bit more integrity. The spine can carry quite a lot of information through it, so making sure it's feeling nice and spacious and stretched out, especially if we've been reaching in awkward places or been doing gardening. This one just helps me personally reset. So there's 3 different exercises I can share today for the spine, and the first one is called picking the cherries. Now I'm going to kneel down for this one so that you can see my arm movements fully. So you can do this one standing or seated, and what you're going to do is you're going to take one palm above you and you're going to imagine this hip grounding down as that arm reaches up, and it's just going to open through the side body and through the sides of the vertebrae. So we're picking cherries, one arm's coming down, and we're really anchoring the hip down away from that lifted arm. So there's a nice pull and opening in the side body. I tend to just alternate my breath with each arm, but find what feels good. You don't have to marry the breath up. And just imagining the sides of the vertebrae opening up. Feeling them shoulder blades dropping down the back body. It's like lifting the crown. Notice how that feels through the spine, right the way down the back. You can do these for 30 seconds or a minute of each. Find what feels good and notice how that feels. For the next opening of the spine, we're going to do one called, it's spinal twist essentially. It's knocking the door of life. So it's turning, and that's just going to open up the side spine. So you can even just turn like this. So we're just getting a nice bit of just moving from that in a bit. So just so we're getting a bit of a spinal twist through the spine. For those of you that are seated, you can just place one palm on the front of the chair, one palm on the back, lifting in the crown and just turning. Taking a deep breath there. You can do this standing as well, like I am. Breathe in, lifting the crown, and then you can gently look behind you. Again, never overstretch on the spine. So we can open that spinal movement, get things moving a little bit through the spine. I imagine things spiraling up there. That's nature's way of growing. So just putting a bit of that natural growth in there. And then for another movement that we can do for the spine, we're going to do one that's going to open the side spine called dog wags its tail, and I love this one. And it's imagining we're between 2 panes of glass. One's in front and one's behind. And we're just going to anchor in the hips. So imagine the lower body set in concrete. I tend to place my hands on my hips, and then we're just going to sway from side to side, letting the weight shift from one side to the other. Again, we've got that whole body movement. So though we're focused on the spine, we're feeling it from the soles of the feet or from the sits bones if you're seated, right the way, lifting in that crown. Breathing nice and deep into the body. And this one is opening the reptilian spine. This is what they call the side spine, that snake-like feeling. Anchoring down again in those hips. And you can, if you're standing, bring yourself tilting forward and just try. I tend to shift my stance so my feet are slightly more 45 degrees out at this point, because that's a bit comfier for me. And again, you're starting that tail wag right the way from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. So we've got a nice bit of opening through that side spine. And you can always finish this one off again with spinal cord breathing, which we have done before, which is just going to open the front of the vertebrae as we breathe in. Let them shoulder blades drop down the back body, arching that spine, and then breathing out. Imagine a lift between each of the vertebrae, bit of spaciousness. Breathing in to open up. Let them shoulder blades drop, and breathing out, release, opening the back body. One more time. So these ones might be nice ones to do if you've been on a chair in the office, commuting, or just generally you've been doing a few movements that might have shifted your spine slightly out if you're feeling your back. So find what feels good and let me know how that's gone. See you tomorrow.